Welcome. Today is Wednesday, February the 22nd of 2023, and I'm so glad that you're here. Yes, normally I'm here on Tuesday, but I wasn't able to this week, so I changed it to Wednesday. And today I'm going to make 3 cards using 2 stamp sets and a punch, and this is my February card class. But if you're new to my channel, I'm Terri Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. So today for my February card class, I'm going to open it up to all of you to watch, and it's just like I would do in person. And as we go through the video, I will explain and tell you how you can receive the card kit to make these cards. And if you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, give me a like, and I really appreciate it. And somewhere on either platform, you can find the share button to share this video. So I'm going to turn the camera down, and we're going to start stamping. So here we go. All right, so I do have my host code, and this is the host code to use if you want to place an order with me and get this card kit. Let's go ahead and make the first card, and you would receive if you're going to get the card kit, it would come like this with everything that you need, except I do not send a stamp set, dies, or ink. So you will get the card base. This is basic white. And I'm going to go ahead and fold this. And in the description of this video, you'll have all the information of how you can receive the card kit that will be mailed right to your house. And I will talk to you about that in a little bit too. So this is our card base, basic white. You'll get an envelope, and you'll have all the pieces that you need in your envelope. And before we start, let me show you what stamp sets we're going to be using. I'm going to be using the Petal Pink, and of course this does not have any sentiments, and I have decided today that I'm going to use the sentiments from the framed Florets. Now this stamp set is 2-step stamping, and I will be doing that in some of my cards today, but in the first card I will not be doing any 2-step stamping for the flowers, but I will for the leaves. Okay, so we have a Night of Navy layer, and we have some designer series paper, and that is from I should have had that out. I think it's Regency Park. It goes with in the suite with the Petal Park. And we have some scrap paper to stamp on. And also you'll have a square, and this is from the Stylish Dies. And this is the Stylish Shape Dies. And they also have then labels. So if you haven't seen that, it's really awesome. I use the Stylish Shape dies a lot. But you'll have this already die cut for you, and then you'll have 1 or 2 little pieces for your leaves. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is that we're going to do some stamping. So let me go ahead and bring this in, and this is for our label right here, and we're going to be using on this card Night of Navy and Mossy Meadow. Now I'm going to be bringing in this stamp. And this stamp normally, if you're going to do the 2-stepping, it would be the one that you stamp inside. How do you know? How do you know which one you would use? Like which is the outline and which is the one that you stamp inside? Well, usually the outline one has little ridges on it. So that is usually your outline stamp. and then the one that you fill in the middle is a little smoother here. But we're going to use the one that's a little smoother, and I'm going to go ahead and ink this up. But before I do that, I'm going to bring in my punch to show you. See how the flowers and this leaf, but you have the 3 flowers, and the stamp set has all 3 flowers on it. So I want to stamp it in the same way with a small flower at the top because I want to punch these flowers out. And because this is photopolymer, I am going to go ahead and bring in my piercing mat. It just gives it a little bit of cushion. So I am going to just go ahead and stamp full strength on those flowers. I'm going to clean my stamp, and then I'm going to lay this aside, and then this is our sentiment, and I'm going to use "Thank You with All My Heart," and this is from the framed Florets, and I'm going to use the Night of Navy. There we go. Lay that aside. Then I'm finished for this card with the Night of Navy ink, but I'm going to bring in the Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to bring in my 2 leaves. So once again, the one that has a little bit of lines in it, this one's smooth, so this is for the inside. The one with the lines will be the outline. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this up, and I'm going to stamp it here. And that one I didn't get quite as dark, so I'm going to see if I can get one on here maybe. And now I'm going to ink this up, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp off. So I'm going to stamp off. Actually, I have the wrong. I'm finished with this one. This is the outline. What I want to do is to bring in the other leaf that is the smooth, and then I'm going to ink it up and go ahead and stamp off, and then stamp on. I only need 2 leaves, but sometimes it's nice to make a 3rd leaf, especially if you don't get one done exactly like you want. Okay, so there are my leaves. I'm going to clean my stamps really quick because I'll be needing those again. And we're finished with our ink. And then we're going to bring in our punch and see how, now you see why I kind of stamped it like I did. Because, let me grab, I'm going to grab that sticky note so I can get my scrap of basic white in there to punch that leaf out. And we won't need that other one. All right, we are ready to put our cards together, except we need to go ahead and bring those flowers back and punch those out, don't we? And then we'll be ready to put our card together. So this is it's a fairly quick and easy card. I think all of these cards, they look like you spent a lot of time on them, but yet you really didn't. And I know I take a little bit of time to get that lined up, but I'm just want to make sure I get it just like I want. So now I'm going to bring back my Night of Navy layer and my Designer Series paper. So again, I'm going to create 3 cards, and if you place an order of $35 with me before tax and shipping, by the end of the day on Sunday, February the 26th, I will send you the cardstock, DSP, the envelope, and all the pieces in the card kit for you to make 6 cards, 2 of each of these designs. But you will need your own stamp set, dies, and ink. And then we're going to add our Night of Navy and our Designer Series paper to our card base. So you'll have everything you need except for your stamp set, dies, and ink. Now I am going to put embellishments on here, so I'm not going to include the embellishments, but if you place an order of $50 or more by the end of the day on Sunday, I will also send you a package of the Milky Dots that we're going to use on these cards. So now I'm going to bring in this little square, the stylish dot, and some dimensionals, and we are going to pop this up. Now you don't have to put one in the middle, but I like to, especially if I'm going to mail the card so it doesn't get, squished down. And then I'm just going to lay this right here upside down, because then I'm going to bring in my sentiment, and I want to make sure that I kind of, just for placement. Okay, so yeah, so that looks good. So that's kind of where I'm going to place my sentiment, so then I can line up my basic white. And I'm trying to get the same amount of space and also get it even. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop up our sentiment. Thank you with all my heart. Of course, you could use any sentiment that you wanted. And then we are going to go ahead and we are going to add dimensionals to our flowers. And I can put one right in the middle of the small one. And really, you just need one for all the flowers. But on the leaves, I am going to use the mini dimensionals. We have enough there. Is that better light? Sorry about that. Sometimes when I put that lamp on, it starts, for some reason, it starts rolling. And I don't like that. We're going to just add this first large flower right there. And then I'm going to kind of put this second flower over here. And the third flower about right there. Bring in our leaves. And I'm just going to tuck that right here. And we'll tuck it. I don't know if there's a right or wrong way to tuck that little leaf. We'll put it right there. Bring in the Milky Dots. And as I mentioned, I will not be sending the Milky Dots, but if you do place an order through Sunday using the host code, you must use the host code, then I will send you a package of the Milky Dots. And I'm going to use the Night of Navy. And just put one right here. And you can see that I have used a lot of these Milky Dots, but don't worry, I have more. Okay, I'm just going to add 2 on there. So here is our first card. Here is the one that I went by, and I guess I did add an extra Milky Dot up here, and I added 3 on this card. So for my second card, would you like to see the card before I make it? So this card I didn't show you, I just made it. And the next card I'll show you first, and then we'll make it. How's that sound? So here's the packet. And I'm going to need Mossy Meadow ink, Balmy Blue, and Night of Navy. So I'm still using Night of Navy, Mossy Meadow, but I'm adding Balmy Blue. And I'm going to need some more. I'm also going to be using the cane weave. And this will be already in your kit. It will already be embossed for you. But I told you I was going to show you the card first. And I am. And here is the card. So lucky to call you friend. I really like this cane weave. And as you can see, it's on basic white. And I cut the layer the same, the same size as the front of the card. I'm using some of the ribbon. You will receive about 6 inches of ribbon in your card kit. So that will be sent, just the Milky Dots won't, but you will get the ribbon. So let's make this card. And you'll have everything that you need, just like here in your packet. So you'll have your ribbon. You will have a piece of basic white for the front of your card and one to stamp on. And the smaller one is the one that is going to go on your card. So I'm going to lay it off to the side so I don't get confused. And the larger one is the one you're going to stamp on. And then you'll have your basic white layer already embossed with that cane weave. And then you also want to have some scraps of paper to do your stamping. So let's go ahead and fold our basic white card base in half. Get that lined up. Bring in my bone folder. And the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and attach our cane weave on the front of our card. But before we do that, we want to add our ribbon. So we're going to add our ribbon about in the middle. And of course, this cane weave, you could do either side, but they're both beautiful. So I'm going to put it approximately, I'm going to try to put it about in the middle. So I'm just going to wrap this around. And then I'm just going to use a piece of tape. And then I'm just going to make sure that I have it straight, or the best I can. And now we're going to add this to the front of our card. And again, this is exactly the same size as the front of our card. So I want to make sure I get it lined up. Kind of tap it down. Kind of look underneath. And then I can, once I'm happy with that. So I'm going to lay this aside and we're going to do some stamping. And I'm going to stamp our flowers first. So I'm going to do the outline in Night of Navy, and I'm going to do the inside in Balmy Blue. Remember, the outline is the ones that have a little bit, has some lines on a little bit rougher. So I'm going to do that full strength, and I want to make sure that small flower is at the top. And then I'm going to bring in my Balmy Blue. And I'm going to ink up the one that's smooth. And I'm going to do full strength. And then I'm going to line this up. So I'm going to get those lined up the best I can. Not too bad. And then I'm going to do it again, and that's why you'll have 2 scraps of the basic white in your kit, because you'll want 6 flowers for this card. So once again, I'm going to stamp, in the Night of Navy. I'm going to clean that real quick, or as quick as I can. Bring in and use the Balmy Blue, and then go ahead and I'm not using my piercing mat. I probably should. Let me bring that in. As long as you, it just helps a little bit because it gives you a little bit of a cushion, and you get a little bit better image. Okay. So this is the one with the piercing mat, and then this is the one without. So I don't know, they're similar anyway. I'm going to lay those aside. We're going to punch those out. I love punches because they are quick and easy, right? Okay. Actually, I think we're going to go ahead and punch them out. Then we'll do the leaves. So, but I probably should close up my ink pads, right? Because we all know what will happen if I leave those out. I'll have inky fingers. Okay, so let's get this lined up. There we go. So now we can go ahead and stamp our leaves. We need Mossy Meadow. And actually, you know what? We do need Mossy Meadow, and we are going to stamp our leaves, but not on the scrap paper. Because on this card, we're going to use that small piece. So we are going to bring that card back in. So notice how this fits right on top of here. And this layer, let's see, this is 3 5/8 by 3 5/8. And it's going to be on our card, and we're going to stamp our leaves right on here. Okay, so I'm going to bring in the outline. This is the one that has the lines, and I'm going to bring in the Mossy Meadow, and then I'm just going to go ahead and ink this up. Because I'm using a large block, and it's a fairly large stamp, I'm bringing the ink to my stamp. Okay, and then I want to get this line, make sure that this is straight. And then I am going to put it fairly close to the top because I am going to stamp the sentiment below this. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and use the other stamp. So let me clean this one. And then I'm going to peel this off. Bring my stamp set in. I really like our stamp sets where we can just, or the case where you can just add on the photopolymer that has a place for you to put your stamps. So then I need to use the same block, and notice that you have these leaves up here, so that will help me do the lining up. But before I put any ink on, I'm going to just make sure that I have it on the block, kind of similar to how I had the other one, because it does stretch a little bit. Okay, I'm going to just lay it down. I think would be the easiest, like this, and then pick that up. And then let's see, I think That looks like that's going to be lined up pretty well. Okay, let's go ahead and ink that up. And did you see all that extra right here? So I'm just going to wipe that off with my chamois. And then I'm going to bring my scrap, my little grid paper, I guess it's underneath here. And I'm going to stamp off. We're going to bring this back in, and then we are going to fill it in. So for the when I fill it in, I stamped off. So I'm going to get that lined up the best I can. Make a commitment. It's all you can do and hope for the best, right? Not too bad. Not perfect, but we will go with it. All right, I'm going to bring the Night of Navy back in, and we're going to stamp our sentiment before we add our flowers. And I have chosen from the framed florets, So Lucky to Call You Friend. So I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. And place that right down here at the bottom. Whoop. And then we are going to add this to our card base. I'm going to bring our card base back. We're going to add this, and then we're going to finish decorating it with those flowers. Now, I am not going to punch this basic white layer up, but you most certainly could. I'm going to pop up our flowers. So we'll add some adhesive. And again, don't forget, this is my February card class. And if you would like the card kit to make these cards, then place an order with me by the end of the day, which is like midnight on Sunday. And that would be this Sunday, which would be February 26th. So place a $35 order with me for tax and shipping, and I will be glad to send you the card kit to make 6 cards. You have 2 of each of the 3 designs. And now the fun part is that we are going to add our flowers. And again, I'm just going to turn them over, and we're going to pop all of them up. Now, if you place a $50 order, not only will I send you a package of the Milky Dots plus the card kit. Right now, Sale-a-Bration is going on, and you will earn a free Sale-a-Bration item too. Sale-a-Bration is almost over. We just have less than a week. I think we have about 6 days. So if there's anything in that Sale-a-Bration catalog that you've been wanting, you might want to consider placing an order so you can get that free. Okay, we're going to take one of the large flowers, and I'm just going to place it about right here. And then I'm going to put a small one over here. Let's use the middle one next, and we'll just kind of place it right here. We have those leaves that, kind of go already. They're just stamped on there, but they look just perfect surrounded here. And let's go ahead and fill. Let's see. Let's just fill that in right there. And we'll put that right here. I think I want to move this one over just a little bit if I can. But you can just kind of line them up, any way that you want. And then let's bring in those Milky Dots. And of course, my take your pick tool. I don't think I could craft without my take your pick tool. I'm going to use that putty end, but you know, you most certainly can use whatever the other end works well too. So I'm going to put one right here. I'm going to go ahead and put a larger one. So on the two larger flowers, and then I'm going to pick up that small and just put it right here. So here is our second card, and you can most certainly add more Milky Dots if you wanted to. So here's the one that the sample that I showed you, and then here's the one that we made together. So this is the second card of my February card class. So you're ready for our third card. And I know most of you like to see the cards ahead of time. So I will do that. I'll show you our next card. We're going to be using a different punch. This is the Label Me Lovely punch for our next card. I'm going to be using a different sentiment. And then this is the card that we're going to make. Wishes for a Beautiful Birthday. We all have people that have birthdays, our friends and our family, co-workers. So it's always great to have some birthday cards on hand. But of course, you could change this sentiment up to something else. So this is the card that we're going to make for our third card. And I will be adding black ink for this card. So actually, I only need black ink. And again, you will receive, your make and take. You'll get two, because you'll be making two of each of these cards. So we're going to start with our basic white, and it's just a regular basic white card base. Cut it 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I do like to use thick basic white for my card bases. Okay, lay that aside, and let's see what we have in the envelope. Should have all the pieces that we need. And you'll get envelopes too. So you will have the designer series paper already cut out for you. You will have Sweet Sorbet cardstock layer. And then you'll have a scrap to stamp and cut your sentiment. Okay, so let's go ahead and line these up. And I'm looking because I would have, so, they may get jiggled in your envelope. So I want to make sure that it is lined up. Let's see. And I think this is the way this kind of, so this looks like, let me see. Okay. So let's move. This is kind of like a little puzzle, isn't it? So what I'm doing, in case you're wondering, I'm looking at this as cut off, and I have them probably lined up. Let's see. Nope. That looks about right. Okay, so now we're going to line them up on our Sweet Sorbet, and I like just to kind of for placement. And then I'm going to start in the middle. I don't know if there's a better way or not, but anyway, we're going to start right in the middle, and we're going to add our adhesive. So I am using 2 stamp sets, framed florets for our sentiments, and then I am using Petal Park for the images. And of course, on this card, I'm just using designer series paper and some cardstock and a punch. So these cards, I think, looks like you've taken a long time, like a lot of time on them, but they're really fairly easy cards. But love the I love the Petal Park. I love the flower images. So if you don't have that, you might want to add that to your wish list. And I'm trying to line it up so it's all even at the bottom and at the top. And I'm trying to have about the same amount of space, in between there. And now I'm going to add this to our card base. So if you'd like me to send you this card kit free, just need to place an order with me through Sunday, a $35 order before tax and shipping, and I will send you the card kit with to make 6 cards, 2 of each of these 3 different designs. I just don't send stamps, dies, and inks. If you place a $50 order with me, you will get a package of the Milky Dots from me, and you also will earn Sale-a-Bration item from Stampin' Up. So I'm going to use the black ink, and I'm going to use Wishes for a Beautiful Birthday. And I'm not going to go ahead and bring in my piercing mat. I think we can just get enough ink on there. We can just, and 1, 2, 3, hold that down. There we go. Bring in this Label Me Lovely punch, and we can get it lined up. And of course, we're definitely going to add dimensionals. And I think 4 will do that. Bring our card back in. Get these tabs off. If you place an order with me, you do need to use the host code, but the link is in the description with the host code embedded. So whatever platform you're watching, it is in the description for you, that link to shop with me with the host code embedded. Okay, so let's bring this in. Well, we've been using lots of Night of Navy on the last 2 cards. So for this card, we're going to use the yellow. I'm sure there's a certain yellow that it is, but at the moment, I think, I'm not sure. Okay. Mango Melody, maybe. All right, so this is the card we made. This is my sample card right here. Let me bring in all 3 cards that we made today. Here is our first card. Here is our second card. And here is our third card. And I'd like to know, which one do you like the best? Leave me a comment and let me know which one that you like the best of those 3 cards. I really like, I don't know, I like all of them. I really like that cane weave. And I think the Night of Navy on the basic white maybe is my favorite, but you might have a different choice. So I hope you enjoyed watching my February card class, and place your order by midnight on Sunday, February 26th. A $35 order with me will get you the kit. And hi, Jill from Australia. You like the second one, the white card. I think that that is my favorite too. I think that is my favorite too. But, well, I am trying to. So again, I'm trying to Well, I have these little things to click on, but it's not working what I wanted to scroll across the bottom. I'll have to practice that later, won't I? Anyway, all the information you need how to get this card kit free is in the description. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing by clicking that subscribe button. If you like this video, please share it. It really helps me, and I really appreciate it. And next week, I'm going to start a 3-week series called Brighten Your Day. And it's going to be cards, some 3D projects. It's going to run for 3 weeks, and they'll be bright and cheerful that you can make and send to anyone to brighten their day. And that will be starting next Tuesday on my normal time. Next Tuesday, uh, the 28th of February at 1 p.m. will be my week 1 series of Brighten Your Day, which will run for 3 weeks. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate you watching. Have a blessed week, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Take care.